all. This is Evita, your wellness coach, and this is Exceptional Living. And this is, let's see, I'm giving you the professional version first. This is Dr. Lisa Thomas Smith. She is a professor of philosophy at Clemson University as well as a health coach. But she happens to also be my sister in law. So I got a free gift today. So today we thought we would talk to you about, we call it Why Wait. One of the things that triggered me was that she filmed a video, and I was like, that's a good concept. Let's talk about it. Because oftentimes people are looking at the beginning of the year and they say, January 1st is going to be the day I start that diet. I'm going to start that business plan. I'm going to start whatever it is. And all of us have been guilty, myself included. January 1st is my deadline. But the question is, why are you waiting? What do you benefit from waiting? Oftentimes it just leads to excuses. So we just thought it would be great to have a conversation, which we do anyway, about why do we wait? Why do we procrastinate? What motivators do we need? What do we need to do? So Lisa, first thing I think we should start with is, why did you make that video?
I made that video because I had done sort of a re-up of my own health journey over the last year. Life was a little real. Lots of changes, and stress is a food trigger for me. And so I had put on some of the weight, stopped following all of the rules that I knew would keep me slim and healthy. I just stopped. And so, and we've all done that. I mean, that's why health is a journey. It's not a destination. It's not like you're going to get to a weight and then you're done. That's not the way this works. It's like managing anything else. So, I had just gotten myself back to this idea and back into this mindset of prioritizing my health. And I got a question of, well, but it's the holidays. Why not wait until after the holidays? And that was really the impetus for that. It's like, why do we have to be unhealthy? Because it's the holidays. Why do we have to be unhealthy? Because we're on vacation. The mindset is different. It's that it's like we have an excuse, we have a reason to not care about our health because no, we're gonna have fun, as if we can't have fun while being healthy, and if we can't, wow, do we have problems?
we equate the fun with the food.
We do.
It's
The
like
food
fun,
and the
right?
drinking and the
I'm gonna have fun because I'm gonna
mhm,
eat.
mhm,
Like,
mhm,
I'm a baker, I'm
right,
gonna bake,
mhm,
but
yeah,
I don't
mhm,
have to eat everything I
right.
baked. But we get this mindset. It's like, oh, it's Thanksgiving, so we're gonna eat all this unhealthy food. It's Christmas, we're gonna eat the cake, the pies, cookies. We're going to the parties. We're doing all these
Right.
things, and so we're just constantly in this. Well, I'll wait, I'll wait,
Yeah,
and
and
then
forget all this, do all these fun things. But the thing is that we can do that, and I don't want to say that you shouldn't have cake and cookies on Christmas. I don't think that that's reasonable. Or my aunt makes this amazing macaroni and cheese that I get like once a year. I'm not passing that up, right? But it can be a meal. It can be one meal, or it can be one day. It doesn't have to be from a week before Thanksgiving all the way to the new year, because we gained 7 pounds. Like the majority of people gained 7 pounds between Thanksgiving and the end of the year. And that's just adding to what you have to do in the new year. And you're also putting all those toxins in. It makes it really hard it makes the detox harder.
And you
So,
really can't enjoy anything because you start to wonder, why am I getting these headaches? Why am I feeling so
right.
sluggish? Why does it seem like everything that's happening is starting to fatigue me? And it's just not only the activity of getting ready for the holidays, entertaining family and those type of things, but you're also dealing with, what did you eat? What did you eat? Like, you had sugar overload, you had alcohol overload, you had carb overload. Everything was done to excess. And so now you're like, I feel horrible, but I can't start now. So one of the things that we should really get into is like, what are our real excuses? Why do we wait? We have this mindset, and I know that there are statistics that say, it's best to start on this particular day of the week, or it's best to start on January 1. But one of my philosophy is always, January 1 does not start my year. Like, what is my year? What is
Right.
my life, my time span? And so we have to really start to deprogram ourselves, if you will, to stop looking at a certain date as being our day, because everybody's starting on January 1st. And if you go and read statistics, they tell you by the time you get to the second week of February, most people have abandoned everything that they said they were going to do. So why set yourself up for failure? But it starts with first identifying some excuses. So let's talk about some excuses or reasons why people wait.
Yeah, reasons why people wait. Okay, so procrastinating, especially on something like a health plan or coming off the sugar or any of those other things, it's more, you think of it as more painful. So it's more painful to do that thing that you know you need to do that will make you feel better, but it's painful in your head. It's more painful to do that than to stop the madness of pie, and because I love pie, but
Pie is great.
I can't. It's just it's not. It doesn't serve me. Um, and we have other pressures. We have family gatherings. We
Mm-hmm.
have friends. And if you are from a family like mine, they're feeders. And so, no, just have a little bit.
Have some extra. It's not going
So
to count today
it's
anyway.
not gonna. It's Christmas. It doesn't count today. And so it is a little bit of pain, and I think that's okay. It's okay to acknowledge. It's more than okay to acknowledge that. It's necessary to
Mm-hmm.
acknowledge that that this is a thing that is going to hurt. We actually need to think about what we're giving up. We're not really giving up, but it feels like we are. So we need to think about the pain, but then load up the pleasure part. So
Mm.
acknowledge that, okay, yeah, okay, maybe I'm not going to have pie every day. Maybe I'm not going to have fruitcake and eggnog every night after dinner. Maybe I'm going to forego some of these treats, but what am I going to get from it? Okay,
Right.
the sense of accomplishment, the sense of personal power in my life and over my body and over my health. Um, and the sense of um, just feeling better,
Yes.
just not, you're not bloated, your stomach doesn't hurt, you're not,
Headaches.
the headaches.
The headaches are the worst. Like if you've
Right?
never had
They're
a sugar
real.
headache,
Ooh.
you have not experienced the true headache. And I'm a migraine
Yeah.
sufferer, but that sugar headache is the worst. And my mom will tell you, I'm always going, oh, I think I'm having sugar poisoning because I have those moments where I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so much because I don't eat that on a regular basis. But something else talking about that pleasure part is also looking at it's fueling you for your next. That is like if you see yourself win in this, whatever that small win is, if you see a pound come off, that one win will fuel you and give you that pleasure to realize maybe the pain of not eating the fruitcake every night is not going to kill me because I see that I'm winning on this side. And so we have to start looking at what are our excuses. I know a big excuse for mine was, well, I don't have to give up this. Like that was my own story. I don't have to deny myself because now it's gonna make me binge if I deny myself. I have to go and do this now and
Yeah.
just have
Yeah.
these little
Yeah.
pieces. But that
Yeah.
starts to add up because you start giving yourself an excuse for everything else. I don't have to do this. I can do this. I can do this. And then you start realizing why am I weighing 15 pounds more than I should?
And it
Because
wasn't that bad. I
no,
didn't eat that much.
but every time you went by the M&M jar, it was
Right.
not that many. But you start to look at the back of the package, it's like 8 M&Ms is your serving size. How many times did you get the 8 M&Ms? Every time I went by the jars like that. So we have to start to renegotiate with ourselves and start to retrain our brains to really and get honest. Honesty is the best policy, as they would say. But the first person to get honest with is yourself. I don't know
So
about how you got honest with yourself, but I think, once I looked at myself in the mirror for real and was like, child, you need that's not cute. And you're over 40 at some point. You're like, the metabolism is slowing down. And so you have to start to look at making different decisions and getting honest with yourself and say, what lie have I told myself? Why am I allowing myself to do this? So that's my story because that's how I got honest with myself. It's like I didn't like being tired. I didn't like how I felt. I didn't like how I looked. And I was just miserable. And so I had to just say, what do we need to do to change this
right.
story?
And it's an interesting cycle that we get into with feeling better. So if you're I'm a stress eater, So the sugar makes me feel better
Temporarily.
for a few minutes, right? But then over a few weeks of the sugar making me feel better, and it doesn't decrease the stress. It doesn't actually deal with the stress problem. And so the stress increases the cortisol, which means that I'm holding weight. My body's trying to protect me from whatever the stressor is, even though, it's a mental stress. It's not some physical one. My brain doesn't know that.
Like all I know is I
So
feel stressed and
I
all.
feel stressed. So I'm holding on to weight to try to protect this body. And so that's that cortisol reaction. So I'm not dealing with stress. And then I'm adding sugar. I'm adding in eating sugar and carbohydrate to excess. It's like painting on the fat. It's like adding it on purpose. And so, but it made me feel better. But what I didn't realize until I got to a health program that really worked, was that when I started eating healthy, then my body felt better and the stress wasn't as bad. I could actually deal with the stress better because my body was healthier.
Hmm. And she had a lot of stress because she was finishing up a PhD program, getting ready to move across the country back to the East Coast. So she had stress. She had reason to eat. I would have eaten too because it would have just been like, I don't care at this point. But she understood what the triggers were, and that's important. If anything you don't gather from today is that you understand what are your triggers. We all have triggers. I have triggers. If I get stressed out, I'm gonna go for sugar because it just makes me happy, and that comes from as a child, I
Yep.
loved eating sugar. I'm a sugar addict, and I always am in recovery. I am never cured. I am in recovery because if I go off the rails for 3 or 4 days, I am fully on a binge again. And it's in my pockets, it's in my purse, it's everywhere I go. It's just how I was. I am a sugar addict in recovery. And I realize that's probably going to be a lifetime because
Yeah.
I love sweets. I love candy. I love cookies. I love ice cream.
Yep.
It's a great thing. But I
Same.
know I can't have it.
Yeah.
And so I have to, one, not buy it.
Right.
Don't let it be in the house or on your person. But I know that this is a trigger for me. So I have to figure out, okay, let's get honest. What's the problem? You're upset. You're stressed out. You're
Right.
frustrated. Go do something. So I go work out. Um, but you have to be honest, one, about your triggers. You have to be honest, two, about that you have a problem. Because we don't like to look at weight as a problem, and especially I think in Black culture, we don't
Yeah.
really, because we come from a history of being fed. You're supposed to eat. There's Sunday dinner. There's
Mhm.
gravy.
Mhm.
There's
Yeah.
biscuits and all these things that we enjoy, but we don't realize that it's actually taken away from our livelihood and our life and just our wellness. And as she's a health coach, I'm a wellness coach. We understand that it's a bigger picture. It's not just about your physical body, but it's mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And when you start to really look at what's going on in your life, you realize that sometimes that weight is a byproduct of other issues. It's the grandma told you you had to clean your plate. It's you're going through a situation and you're packing on the weight. Sometimes as a protection, you don't want people to look at you. You don't want to be bothered. So you like, I'm just gonna blow up and then I go into the background, or I'm gonna keep eating this stuff even though it's killing me because it's making me feel peaceful, like she said, having that temporary pleasure. So we have to really get honest about what are these things. But another thing that leads us to making some bad decisions is that procrastination thing we talked about. As we talking about while we're waiting, we talk about procrastination. We think we have this long life. I don't know who told us that we have
I
like
don't know,
you can do it tomorrow.
but
You can
it's
do
a
it tomorrow. You can
lie.
do it tomorrow. And sadly, I am a procrastinator. I will tell on myself first. If you tell me I need to do something, I'm going to wait until it gets deadline time almost. And I'm like, yes, best work time. But you can't do that with your health. You can't
No.
do that with your wellness because you'll put it off and there's no deadline.
Right.
Nobody's
Right.
giving you a deadline.
Right.
So if we start to talk about like why some reasons people procrastinate, one of the ones you talk about is people are just getting that difficult. It's too difficult.
It's too difficult. And another reason is that we just don't know how. And we get quickly overwhelmed. Um when and we say things like, I'm gonna start a diet on January 1st. Okay, first we're starting a diet. This is a problem. Okay.
No to diet.
No to diets. The fact is that we're all on a diet all the time. It's just, is it a good diet that's feeding your health, or is it a bad diet that's not? Okay, so whatever you're eating, that's your diet. So just mm. um, but I'm gonna start a diet. Don't do that. Think about improving your health.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm gonna start improving my health on January 1st. Get a plan.
Ooh, that's a big word. Get a
Get a
plan.
plan now,
Today.
because you can't start something if you don't know what you're doing. Right? I am going to start a plan on January 1. What's the plan? Know what the plan is.
And it doesn't have to be a difficult
It doesn't.
plan. Like,
It doesn't.
that diet word, like you said, we hinder ourselves just with the word diet. Like,
Yeah.
time you say diet, my mind goes to, oh, you taking something away from me. Like, I just see, like, no bread ever. I can't have pizza. I don't ever get to eat a burger. And so you automatically, it's like you're on the expressway and somebody says diet, and then all the roadblocks just
Yep.
come. And so we have to stop that one, number
Yes,
one.
for sure.
And a diet doesn't help you in the long term, because
No.
it's not changing a lifestyle. It's just giving you a tool to get in that dress bag.
Right. And then you gain all of that weight back again. And you
again,
gain that weight back plus 10 pounds.
and
Or
the
plus 20
depression
pounds.
and the frustration and depression.
And the frustration. And then you think, well, I just can't lose weight. And then a lot of people just give up. But it's about, if you reframe it, it's not about forever giving up macaroni and cheese. It's not about never having a pizza. It's about contending, and this is a word in my circles that comes around a lot, contending for your health every day. Fight for your health every day. And do a little better than you did yesterday. So if yesterday you didn't have any water, get your water in today.
I like that.
Get 64 ounces of water in today. Start there. Water's a big deal for your health.
Drink plenty of water.
Drink
Well, she has her water bottle. I love mine. But I
always
carry it
with the
around
water.
all the time.
All
I
the
don't
time.
drink anything else but water for the most part. But I like that. Contend
Yeah.
for your health. We have to find out what we're fighting for.
Yeah.
I want you to write that down today. What are you contending for? What are you fighting for? You're not fighting for a dress. You're not fighting for so you can look better than your classmate at a reunion. But what are you truly fighting for? You're fighting for your health. You're fighting for your well-being. You're fighting for who you are. And you know that this extra weight, this sickness, all of this stuff that's bogging you down because of poor decisions is not what is best for you, and it's not who you are. So contend for. So that's our SAT word today. Contend for. So
be a contender.
Be a contender, and you're gonna win.
You'll win.
Decide today that you're gonna win. And so something else that I was looking at, it was talking about that one of the reasons why people procrastinate is low self-esteem. And so you don't think about that. And as somebody who's a procrastinator, I'm like, it's not my esteem that's on. It's just I'm not doing that right now. But if you don't think you deserve something, if you don't find yourself worthy enough, you will not put yourself on this journey. And just as she was saying, you have to fight for it. You won't fight for yourself if you don't believe in yourself. And so today, we want you to start believing in yourself. Realize that you're worthy. One of the things that I think was one of the biggest gifts to myself is when I started seeing the weight come off, and when I started seeing that my body was changing with the workouts and those type things, that I realized I deserve this. I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be healthy. I deserve to be my best self. I don't deserve to be sluggish anymore. And so you have to start asking yourself, what do I really deserve? And dealing with that whole self-worth piece, because oftentimes we think it because I look like something in a dress.
Yeah.
That's not my worth. My worth is, can I run up a flight of steps and not die because I'm able to do this? Or can I pick up my children? Or can I, help somebody? If my friend calls me to move, can I help them and not be like, yeah, child, I can't help you do that. One of my things, if you follow me, I'm a hiker. That gives me so much joy to be able to say that I made it to the summit of whatever we're going. And I wasn't like, oh,
right.
But that's because I decided you're worth everything that you want to accomplish. And so I think that's a big piece of us dealing with that.
It is. The thing is, that's also an interesting little cycle, though. Because if we don't feel like we're worth the work, it's hard for us to make ourselves do the work. And in a lot of cases, we have to fake it till we make it.
You heard
So
it from the doctor. She said fake it till you
you fake it till you make it. No, seriously, our we can teach our brains things.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, we can't. Like, well, hey brain, let me tell you some stuff.
You're going to
Right?
believe you
You're
can do
gonna
this.
believe this. That's not how it works. We
Mhm.
actually have to practice ourselves into it. But
Mhm.
if you just commit for 2 or 3 weeks, just take small chunks. I'm gonna commit to my health for 2 weeks. I'm gonna drink a lot of water. I'm gonna cut out the sugar and the white flour. 2 weeks. The thing is that those little things, just doing those little things, give you some confidence.
Mhm.
And then in 2 weeks, when you feel better, and when you look in the mirror and you maybe look a little better, your jeans fit a little better, then you're thinking, okay, wait, maybe your brain's like, hey, this feels pretty good. Reward.
Yes.
And once you get a reward from it, then it's easier to keep going. And the more you keep going, the more your confidence builds, the more that you feel good about yourself. And it's not about looking any particular way. It's not about fitting into a size 4, right? You can, there are people who are perfectly healthy and fit, and they weigh 40 pounds more than I do, but they're happy and confident that they're doing the best they can for their health. And that is all that confidence is.
Yeah.
That's where that comes from. It's not from looking like the culture tells you that you're supposed to look. It's about doing the things and empowering yourself to take control of your health.
And I think that goes to redefining it for yourself.
Yes,
Because
absolutely.
oftentimes, and I know I've been guilty of this, is that what the culture says, that you should be a size 2, you should be looking like this. I'm like, I'm never going to look like that. I come from a good, healthy size 7 people. And I can work myself to the bone, but I will look like something that you don't want to see. But I had to start to redefine what that is for me. Like,
Right.
what do I think makes me feel good, and how do I like to look, and those type things. So we have to get into some redefinition. And I definitely follow a lot of fitness people who are able to run circles around me, and they are way heavier than
Mhm.
me, and they are able to do it because they have done the work to make themselves healthier, and it's not about looking like a size 2.
It's just not.
So
And the weight on the scale, the my advice is to use the scale like it's just a tool.
mhm,
It's a progress tool. So where this tells you where I started, this tells me where I started, this tells me where I am now. That's
that's it.
all. So we don't have to be afraid of the scale. Right?
Looking
Oh
at
my
like,
God, I'm gonna get on the scale and it's gonna say bad things.
yeah,
No,
been there.
it's just a measurement.
Yeah.
Right? It's and also do that once you get on a health plan, take measurements. Like measure your I lost so much weight here
Hmm.
and I didn't have a neck measurement,
Hmm.
but I could tell that I had lost it and I
Right.
was mad because I didn't
Like, I
have
want to
a
see that
measurement.
number.
I want to know what that number is. But yeah, measure your body because in
Yeah.
a lot of cases you're losing inches and you're not
Yeah.
losing actual pounds. Because your body does all kinds of fluid fluctuation and
And
yeah,
also, once you work out, if you start strength training, you
yeah.
will see that you will weigh the same. I lost the inches, but I saw that my weight stayed the
Hmm.
same. But it was
Hmm.
because I now pick
Hmm.
up muscle mass and get rid of some of that fatty stuff.
Right.
I'm still on a journey, so don't judge me. But
We are all on a journey.
but I see the difference, and I know how my clothes fit differently.
Right.
And that's one of the other tools you need to look at. Look at how your clothes fit. Do you
Yep.
need to buy a new shirt? Do you
Yeah.
need to buy a new set of pants because
Yeah.
that bigger size pants didn't work? Because now you're seeing that you're slimming down, and that is because you're toning up, you're working out, you're eating well. So you'll see those things change.
All right.
And so we have to really understand. But I think the biggest piece is, and I read this somewhere about how your brain is etched by the
Hmm.
negative experiences
Yep.
that you've had. So a lot of times we automatically go to that default that we're not going to be able to lose the weight. We're
Hmm.
not going to see the changes because our brain is already etched for that. And so now you have to do that reprogramming
Yep.
and start to, as you say, fake it till you make it.
Hmm.
And then as you start putting those practices in place, it starts to rewire your
Yep.
brain of how you're even thinking of stuff because
Yep.
you start seeing, I can do this.
Yep.
I'm winning. I'm losing the weight. I'm seeing the inches come off or whatever.
Yep.
And so you don't go to that natural default that you once had because your brain is been etched on your experiences because you're giving it new experiences to rewire.
Yeah. And get a coach and join a community and do things that will encourage you. Go to the Facebook pages that with the healthy people.
Yeah. I
right?
love my Facebook groups.
And like, just surround yourself and be all in. Like, talk about it, live it, just and be loud about it. And because that also helps your brain to say, you know what, this is not only okay, it's good. It's
and,
good for me.
and post about it.
Post about it.
And don't care what other people think
Mm-mm.
about you. I post all the time and I could care less. And it's like, hey, this is so that I can see a year from now what I
Right.
did.
Right.
I can also conquer fear.
Right. That's a big one.
Fear.
Fear is the mind killer.
Because if you're afraid and you are always worried about, well, somebody's going to say I'm fat or somebody's thinking this or I'm afraid of what people will think about me when I post this picture, then you'll constantly be in that prison, your own prison of not being able to make those changes. But I promise you, if you start posting, it'll start changing how you see things. And you'll also celebrate yourself because you'll go back 3 months from now and you'll be like, oh, look, I'm able to walk an extra mile. I'm able to do this. So post about it. That's one of your tools.
Yeah.
Post about it because you need to conquer that fear because we're all afraid.
And the thing is, we're all in the same boat. So
because some people are
seriously,
filtering. Some people are filtered.
most people are filtered.
Athletes have
So,
stretch marks.
yes, they do. And the posting just the highlight reels, it's bad for all of us.
Yes.
So yeah, you know, okay. So what if somebody thinks you're fat? They probably think they are too.
They're just afraid to admit it. You just put it out there on blast. Say, hey, this is me.
This is me.
And I am going to show you my journey. And you don't know who you're helping because somebody else may come out of their fear.
Right.
That's one of the things I am so grateful for in this journey myself. As I put out, if you follow me, I put out when I work out at 4 a.m. and all this. And there have been people I bumped into who follow me, some I didn't even know, who were like, hey, because you started working out, I started working out. And I'm like, wow. Or I started changing how I eat because you post what you meal prep.
Right.
And so we're all helping each other. We're all in this journey. And even with us, we may be coaches, but we have coaches.
Yeah, that's right.
Because we have the same thing that you're dealing with. I have my days where some days I'm like, okay, I haven't seen the scale move in weeks.
Right.
I'm just a little mad. And so you have to find somebody to help get you out of that headspace and that craziness because we all go there. I mean, I'm gonna have to get my life together after these holidays because I've had a little too much fun. We've been in COVID.
Right.
See, that's my excuse. We've been in COVID.
And I feel it. No, 2020, 2021. Woo, these have been rough years.
So
with all the triggers for everybody.
Like, oh my gosh, they're talking about we can't find food in the grocery store.
Right.
I think I'm gonna have to go and eat something.
Right. Preferably something carby and sugary. And, you know, that'll make me feel horrible about myself in a month. But it'll feel good right now. Yeah. Huh. No, and I mean, and some of that is just give yourself some grace.
Ding, 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 ding. If I had a bell.
Right. Because it's just, it's hard out there. and the struggle is real, and the world is not friendly to health. It's just, if you look on the TV, how many commercials do you see for healthy food? Like, you know, the spaghetti squash and the zucchini. Well, no, it's all burgers and fries and pies and cakes and
M&M's.
M&M's and Snickers bars
and ice cream.
and ice cream.
So all the things that I love.
All of that.
So we have to be our own advocates. We have to start, like, I know sometimes I have to turn off social media. I cannot tune in to what everybody else is doing because I start to get down on myself and think, oh, I'm not really achieving my goals, even though I know I may be working harder than a lot of people. And so we have to really start to protect our own mental health, our own mental and emotional health. As she said, we have to learn how to give ourselves grace and realize this is a marathon. It is not a sprint.
It is not.
Like you're going to go forward and then you're going to go back and you're going to go forward, but you have to stay consistent. You have to say that regardless. Some days when you see that you gain 2 pounds, I still got to get up in the morning and work out.
There you go.
I acknowledge the 2 pounds exist. I don't know if they're water, if it's food, if it's alcohol, whatever it was. But it's there.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm not going to talk bad about myself. I'm not going to say I'm the fat girl. whatever. Because you know how we do,
I'm
and women
so good
especially.
for that.
Like,
I said it yesterday.
you are such a pig. We took a field trip, and
Yeah.
we had a little too much fun at the field trip. But you have to stop that negative self-talk because the world's gonna do it for you anyway.
Right.
Why would you do it to yourself? You don't deserve that. You
Mhm.
need to look at yourself every day in the mirror, and even if you gained the 2 pounds because you ate a whole bag of cookies, but like I ate the cookies, I acknowledge I ate the cookies, and you know what? I'm still a good person.
Still a good person. I still care about my health. So I'm going to contend today. I failed yesterday. That's okay. It's all right. Failure is part of success. I just learn something from it. What was the trigger? Why did I do
Right.
it? How am I going to navigate it better the next time that it happens? Okay, learn something. Let it go. Move on.
And post about it.
And post about it.
I do. Like my friends will tell you, they'll see a post where I say, I ate the cookies yesterday. And everybody knows that I don't really do that like that. So I'll post on it. I ate all of them and I enjoyed it. I had fun. But you know what? Now I got to get my life back together. But I owned it and I didn't hate myself for it.
Right.
I just had a little moment where I was like, girl, leave those cookies alone.
It's not about perfection. It's not going to be perfect.
That.
It's never going to be perfect. It's impossible for it to be in the world that we live in and in the culture that we live in. We just aren't going to be able to just always have the exact right thing all the time. We're going to not plan correctly. We're not going to anticipate that trigger.
And you're going to go to your grandmama's house and she
And
going to be like,
hey,
I made this mac and cheese that you love. And you're going to be like,
oh, well.
I do love my grandma's mac and
love
cheese. And I don't want to offend her. I don't want her feelings to be hurt. So, I'll eat it. But you might just need to cut it in half. One of my biggest things is cut stuff in half. I go to restaurants, I tell them, go ahead and bring me a box.
Right.
Because I don't need to eat it. Because if I see it, I'm going to eat it. Because I think I'll waste it. But I can have leftovers. So take it and get half. So see, we just want to give you some tools. We can't tell you it's gonna always get right because we don't always get it right. Like I said, we had a field trip yesterday. We didn't get it right.
I got it mostly.
She got it mostly right. I wasn't even trying to be right. I was just like, stuff happens and you'll live. But today we have to make better choices.
Right. So know why. So big thing.
Know why.
The reason I got it right yesterday is because I went in knowing that it wasn't gonna be pretty. And I had my why. The reason that I'm working so hard, the reason that I'm contending for my health firmly in my mind. Okay.
She wouldn't even let me talk her out of it. I tried. She wouldn't. She said, I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing it. Not giving myself permission to do
I'll
it.
wait till Christmas.
Right. Because I have already made the choice. Christmas is the day that I will go off my plan. But it'll just be Christmas. And the next day, I'm right back on it.
So she didn't do it, people. I'm here to tell you she didn't do it. I did it for her. She didn't do it. But, it happens like that. But, tomorrow morning at 4 a.m., guess what? I'll be working out. So it's all good.
Yep.
So we hope that today that you learned that everybody is in this journey. We're in this journey. We've been in this journey for years. And we've seen the highs and the lows, and we know that we still got better ahead of us. And so, Lisa, what would you say would be the top 3 things that people should remember as we get ready to close?
Let's see, top 3. We talked about a lot of things.
Yeah.
First, figure out what you want. Be very honest with yourself. Honesty is top of the heap. Be very honest with what you want and why you want it. Get it firmly in your mind. Write it down.
Write it down.
Write it down. What you want. Get a plan for how you're going to accomplish it. And then set your start date. And if you're just determined for it to be January 1, that's fine. Okay. You don't have to wait. You could do it now. And you'll just feel better by January 1. You'll have your head start before January 1. Head starts are good. But get your plan, put a time around it, give yourself some grace. Yeah.
And I think that's helpful because even like she said, if you don't start January 1, if you start ahead of things, that gives you a test run. It's kind of like, you get to see like, what's really going on? And this is the best time because this is the most triggering time, whether it's grief, whether it's family gatherings, whether it's every food you could have ever imagined is around you, whatever it is, this is the best time for you to say, what can I do as one thing today? If you know one things I love is the one thing challenge. Give yourself a one thing challenge. What's the one thing I can do today that's different? Maybe instead of you having Diet Coke all day, you change it and have water for one of those. Take it one step. And as you win on that one step, it gives you fuel to do another and another and another. So you can start early and then you can see, you know what? We went over to that party and I ended up being surrounded by all this food and it really started to trigger me. Well, now you know as you go into January, I can't do this. Maybe I can't go to that event, or maybe if I do, I need to take my own snacks with me or whatever. So go ahead and get started because the question we started with is why wait? What are we waiting for? Life is not waiting on you.
We don't
Nobody,
know how much time we have.
you could not be here tomorrow and you're waiting on something that may never come. But you know what you have right now? Now, today, this moment. So if it means that you need to go to the refrigerator and get you a bottle of water, start there.
Yep.
If it means that you need to go and wrap some stuff up, put it in the freezer so you can't have it, do it now because all you have is now. And you don't want to neglect what you have the ability to give yourself this beautiful gift. And that beautiful gift is a healthy life. A healthy life mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And so we have to realize all we have is today, this moment that we have right now. So I hope that today has been helpful, even with our antics. But we do take this seriously. And so, Lisa, if they want to follow you, how can they follow you?
You can find me on Facebook at Lisa T. Smith. And you can find me on I have a Facebook page, A Healthy Life, Happy Life. So you can go and find me there.
So see, you can follow her and you'll see her journey. She posts about her own journey. She also posts helpful tips of recipes and those type things. So I would encourage you to do that. And you know you can follow me even at Exceptional Living Empowerment Coaching on Facebook, on Instagram. You can also follow us on YouTube. And so I'll be showing my journey because after all these holidays pass, I got to get my life together. So you can see my 4 a.m. workouts. You can see the meal prep that I do. I meal prep every week because I need to save myself from myself. Um, so do that. And we hope to help you have a healthier and happier 2022 because we all have been inside doing damage to ourselves out of our own grief, disappointment, frustration, whatever the case is, because we couldn't go outside. But as life is opening back up, we have to make some different decisions. So follow us, and we'll hope to help you. And maybe we'll even be back on for a little progress report to show you how have we gotten better, because we both are in the struggle with you. So until next time, know that this is about living exceptionally, mind, body, and spirit. So we hope you have a great rest of the year and happy new year. And we'll see you in 2022 showing you what we're doing so that we'll show you that we're in this journey together. So until next time, know that better is ahead. Be excited because 2022 is going to be a great year. Bye.